Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Hi, I'm Shannon. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is part 2 of my Netflix recommendation. If you haven't already seen my first video, I will pop that up on the iCards for you. I think I've done about 10, 15 series, and there's some Apple TV ones on there, so if you like watching Apple TV as well, that's a good one to watch. I do have my list on my phone and I'm just gonna pretty much jump into it. So the first one that I have on my list is the series Dead to Me. I might pop up the trailer somewhere so that you can have a little look at the trailer of season 1. I think there's 2 seasons and there might be a third one coming out. Or there might be 3 seasons, I can't be too sure. So it's pretty much basically about this woman, you know, her husband passes away. He basically gets hit by a car. It has like a comedic kind of like aspect to it. This woman, you know, she meets this other woman, she becomes best friends with them. And it's basically about just like getting over the death of her husband, but obviously like a lot of things come out, you find out a lot of things, but it is really a good watch. If you're looking for something that's kind of like light-hearted, comedic but serious at the same time, this is the one for you. And the second one that I have is The Society. I watched this ages ago, and I have been waiting for season 2 to come out for literally the longest time. I have no idea when it is coming out, but Society is pretty much about a lot of high school kids. They go on a trip and then they come back and all their parents have pretty much gone. Like they've gone, they've disappeared, and it's about these kids having to actually build a society. So they have to like create how to like, well, they have to like kind of like create their society. They have to like do, you know, who's going to be in charge and who's going to do this and who's going to, you know, get the food, and it's crazy. And you can probably imagine they're teenagers don't think like adults, they're not as rational. Some people go out of hand because they're like, yeah, no parents, let's have parties, let's drink, but then they forget that you need rules. So that's basically what it's all about. You kind of need rules, you kind of need somebody to take charge, and that's what it is pretty much. They have to like build a society and just kind of like find out what's happened, like where are their parents, why have their parents gone, you know. Next one I have is Better Call Saul. My first recommendations, I said about Breaking Bad. I said Breaking Bad, you really need to watch. It is insane. They came out with a spin-off season, I think literally after Breaking Bad finished, and it's called Better Call Saul, which is the lawyer in Breaking Bad, and you kind of just find out, you know, how he became Saul. You know, because his name's actually Jimmy McGill. Find out how did he become the lawyer that he was in Breaking Bad. You also have like the characters that are like recurring characters in Breaking Bad become the main characters in Better Call Saul. It's kind of difficult to explain, but it's definitely one to watch. It's really good, funny, serious, and just a good watch. If you are a Breaking Bad addict, you love Breaking Bad, you are a big fan of them, I highly recommend Better Call Saul, because you also find out why characters are the way they are in Breaking Bad. So it kind of like ties up loose ends, or it kind of like makes you understand why a character is the way that they are in Breaking Bad, because Better Call Saul is before Breaking Bad. Makes sense? I hope so. Next one we have is The Alienist. The Alienist is amazing. I was not expecting to watch this. I went into this blind, completely blind, had no idea what it was about. I knew they were like detectives, but I had no idea what it's about. And let me tell you, this is gruesome. Like, it is gruesome. So it is based in the 18th century. So an alienist is what they used to call people in the 18th century, a person that studies mental problems, you know, like murderers. Why do they commit these acts? Why do they commit such horrible acts? There's obviously something wrong with them. There's obviously something like different to them, like nature wise. In this day and age, we have therapy, we have obviously counselors, we have all of those sorts of people who kind of like find out the underlying root of what makes people the way that they are, and it's kind of like nature versus nurture. But back then there was a specific person who would study why are they so different to other people. Is it because of their parents? Is it because of, you know, basically it's just these detectives that kind of find out, you know, who are committing these horrible acts, who are committing these horrible murders, etc. Only 2 seasons, but highly recommend. So I also have, so this isn't a series, this is a film, and it's The Trial of the Chicago 7. This is an amazing film. It's like 2 hours long. It's based on a true story, the Chicago 7. They're like parties that kind of like want to stop the Vietnam War, and basically they all get arrested for kind of like creating riots, etc., and going against the police force basically. And it's kind of like a political, the reason why they got arrested and went to court and stuff, it's almost like they were made an example of, if that makes sense. Really good film, really hard to explain, but obviously I hope that you will be seeing a trailer to see what is going on. So the next one is Good Girls. I briefly touched on this in my last recommendations. I kind of just like listed it, but I never explained what it was about. So the Good Girls is kind of similar to like Breaking Bad, but these are all females. These are just like normal mums pretty much, and they have kind of like get into this business where they have to like launder money. Is it launder money? They kind of like accidentally get into this business of like laundering money, and they a lot of them have like problems, so like financial problems, husband having an affair and stuff, which kind of like push them to go and do this sort of career. So they're like normal women, parents, mothers, etc., but they just end up getting themselves into this craziness. It's funny, it is comedic, but it is a really, really good watch. You also have The End of the Effing World. This is a English series. It's basically about this young boy that has like fantasies of like murdering people. It's meant to be funny, it's meant to be kind of like light-hearted, and then he kind of like goes on a journey with this girl that he like fantasizes about, like, you know, murdering. And yeah, it's quite difficult to explain because it's like a coming of age kind of series. It's kind of like how teenagers feel, like all this emotion, but he's very different, and he classes himself as like a psychopath. So yeah, really good to watch. The next one is 7 Seconds, which is a like crime TV series. So these TV series tend to start off like, oh, there's a murder that's happened, who's committed it, let's find out. This one starts off, you know who's done it, you know who's done the act, and it's actually about the cover-ups, you know, the extents that people go to cover up something, and you have like dirty cops, you know, that help cover up this kind of like act and stuff. And it's quite sad because well, it is sad, not quite, it is sad because it's a young boy, it's a really young boy who basically gets killed from a hit or run, and it's just like the whole thing of it getting covered up. And then you obviously have these detectives to find out, you know, what happened, who's covering up, you know, etc, etc. And last but not least, we have Raisin Dion. Raisin Dion is amazing. So it is about this young boy that has superpowers, and his mum doesn't quite understand, the boy doesn't quite understand, the mum thinks he's joking and just lying about these superpowers, but then when she finds out that he has them, it's about managing them. It's about like living in this day, like in this modern day with superpowers. What can you do with it? How can you hide it? Obviously, if he's one that has superpowers, you know there's going to be other people, you know there's going to be villains, you know there's going to be good people, and it's kind of like the journey of finding out who's got it, how to live with these, how to kind of like suppress them, because there are some bad people in there that want to catch these people that have them. Yeah, really good, highly recommend. It's such a nice film to watch as well when it's like a son and a mother. Like, it's very different, it's a different take. It's a single mum raising her son because her husband passed away, and you kind of find out like, how did he pass away, why did he pass away. Okay, so that's all the recommendations that I have. It's not as much as I did have for the first one, but I think I kind of maybe just put too much in that first video. If you do have any recommendations for me, please let me know in the comments down below. If you did like the sound of any of these, also let me know, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, if you have any ones for me, because like I keep saying, I'm running out of things to watch. Like, I'm in the middle of watching Better Call Saul, but once that's finished, like, I'm just going to be gutted. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, smash that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. That helps me out massively. And yeah, I hope you stick around, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.